G'day guys, Elpraz here. I wanted to take the time out just to do something a little bit different. In our family server, we have a super smelter that relies on a minecart to go off and deposit all the things into each of the smelters. Now, I wanted to build an automatic loading system, and I couldn't find one that quite does what this does. So basically, it will load up the minecart, and if the chest is empty, it's going to say, yep, we're on, and it'll send off the minecart. And now the minecart has all the items in it. In this case, it's stone. And as you see, it's going down. We're not this piston's staying off, and it's just going to deposit all of its stuff, and once it's finished, it's going to pop out the piston here and lock the minecart in place. Now, there we go, and the light's off, and we're done. So what I've also worked out is filling up if the chest is still not empty, but the minecart is full. So if we go off like this, we can see we've hooked up the comparator here, and basically because the signal of a full minecart is greater than the signal of this chest, it's going to get sent off once it's completely fiddlesticks. What is going on here? So that should be a signal strength 15 into the back. This is less of a signal strength. So this should be, what is it, power 0. So that's fired up, that's extended, that's going around, and we've got a fault because the piston is not retracting, so it's powered somehow. And I thought I'd solved all these little quirks. I don't know what is causing it to be powered. I think it is to do with the light. No, not the light. Okay, is this powered? That's power 1. So because there's still stuff in the chest, that's getting powered. Alright, let me go and fix this very quickly. One moment. Alright, the fix was... Sorry. The fix was simply to replace that with glass. And now, as you can see, it is behaving as expected. There are no items in here, although they are getting picked up little by little each time the cart I can't think of that word. Each time the cart comes back, I'm sure there's a word that starts with R for that. Returns! Yeah, that took me a while. Anyway, so what happens is it's almost an instant off and delayed on. And so... delayed... instant on and delayed off? Yeah, so let's run you through the design. So basically, we've got the chest with the comparator here, and then it runs into the side. Yeah, I'm going to do that because we need the chest to have a lower signal than the full minecart. So as long as the chest, yeah, has to have a lower signal. So even if the chest was completely full, I'm pretty sure this would work. But in the case of smelting stuff, it's not too often that I would put things in there. So all the way up to fill it up. So anyway, we have the comparator checking to see how full, outputting a signal strength. We have a comparator checking the signal strength of the hopper, and it then goes and splits it so that the signal will get cut off quickly by retracting this block. As you can see, it sort of working over there. But then it goes through a pulse extender so that it will power my piston. And I've just got a redstone block for another reason. I was powering this light based on the position of this block, which used to be a redstone block. Oops. And I figured out that I could just take this inverted signal and run it into my redstone block to provide that indicator, which I think is pretty cool. Alright, so and we need to have a block here. Right, we need to have a stone block here, because we don't want that confused. Alright, so that's all finished now. Oops. All done. So, this is how I've implemented it. As you can see, let's just run that again. Hopefully all working now. Lights come on, so meaning that we're going to activate. Now, once that is full, we're going to swap that out. Swap, retract. Yes. No. Dang it! Oh, goodness me. What is going on here today? Oh, my goodness me. It's enough to bring a grown man to tears. That'll work. There we go. Bang. My goodness. Well, look. That solves the problem. It's working. Every time. Now, I don't know. I've gone through so many iterations that it's just doing my head in. Now, I could have left that as a redstone block and then probably to fix my issues, I don't steal that or redirect this output. But this way it sort of keeps it a bit thinner. You can increase the delay if you need to, depending on the length of your minecart track by adding in extra comparators. I got this one, I think it was Mumbo Jumbo's, back in like 2013, so it's a fair while ago. It is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 design by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is fairly large. If anyone can think of a easier way to do this or a smaller method. Why? What is going on? Alright, I'm back. After many hours of troubleshooting and trying to figure out, I went from this concept here where it uses this to instantly retract, but in the end, it doesn't really need to instantly retract, so I have now come with this silent-ish design with only one piston to prevent the minecart from moving, and it does absolutely, you don't need to have glass here, it does absolutely work. If there is anything in this chest, it will power this line. It will then go through this repeater, which will generate by their comparator here, I think that's a 14 or 15, and it's a 14 strength in here in the side. So that means when the minecart hopper is full, it will send a 15 strength, and that means that this output will be enabled. And then from the output, it goes into my delay. And this can be renewed each time the minecart comes back. So it will stop if there is still stuff in here and the minecart's not full. But you probably want to empty this anyway. So, I mean, I'm using it for a furnace array, so it will empty all this out and drop it into a furnace array. Or a super smelter, whatever you want to call it. And so the delay will then go through the repeaters into here, which inverts the signal, so the default is out. And then I take that signal and power my redstone block. Now, I was having a bit of a weird glitch in earlier where the piston here would get stuck in the extended position. I have dropped, I don't know, tons of stacks of stone into this chest, and I've watched it, and it doesn't appear to get stuck. So if it does now, then it's got to be something to do with me recording. Anyway, let's show you how this works. Let's get our stone, and that both empty at the moment, which means that this is extended because of the inversion of the signal. I'm going to put in a full lot. Now, it does take a while to empty out on this. There's no way around that for a full lot, but yeah, it's got to be something to do with when I'm recording, because that's not how that worked. It didn't do that. I don't know what's going on there. That's very strange. I literally was watching this. Maybe it's to do with the speed of like my computer and handling this. Anyway, that's filled up. Off it goes. There's nothing left. This triggers the output, renews my delay because I don't want this to re-extend while I'm waiting. And then obviously the little light comes on. It's got to be that now that my CPU is more tasked with doing the recording, I don't know what else it could be. Well, actually, the CPU is not that tasked. Well, anyway, it works. I mean, it might trigger a few times like you saw. In my tests, it didn't. But obviously, it wants to make a liar of me. And yeah, this is how you make it. I guess I will show you step by step. It's a little bit harder, but let's go, because I've only built this a couple of times. Whatever. Let's do this. So I suppose I could show you how many resources it takes. I'll try and flash that up on the screen. So we need a rail, a detector rail, and we need a normal rail. So what I'm going to do is put detector there. We need that on a slant, and we need a block so the minecart doesn't go off the back end. We're also going to be putting chests there. So let's go and get a standard rail, because we don't want it powered all the time. Come on, I should be a professional about this. We need the chests. So I don't know if having a chest, like, I've found that having it offset is a bit nicer for the design. So then we want a comparator there, and we want a comparator coming out from there, and we want to have a repeater, then down, and then down to here, and then we're going to have a, wait, is that right? Yeah, alright, so it comes out one more, and then we have a repeater here, and we have a block there. Comparator, repeater, because if this even has a 1 signal we want it to trigger. Then we have our comparator there, and that's our signal there that we can work on. Now the delay can be as long as you want it, and you can just keep adding comparators here to make the delay longer and longer. And I got this design off of one of Mumbo Jumbo's videos, if I'm not mistaken. And then this is because we don't want the redstone to go into the side of the comparators and actually compare that way. And so we will now, what do we need? Repeater, because we're going past the block. So we need a block here. And this is going to do that, and that. And so once this is powered, like so, that prevents the minecart hopper from going down. Let's get that. So there we go, like that. So now that can suck the items out of there. And then we're going to take an inversion of this signal. And we're going to put a repeater over that. Now this is a snapshot, by the way. This is I've done this in 1.16.5, and also in this 8B snapshot, 21W08B or 08B, and we need that signal. There we go. That's good to go. And then we need to... Now, something I figured out about my comparators is we're going to have a repeater because we don't want to get power off of this block because we're going to power into this block like so. And I won't make a full delay circuit, but you can copy that. So we can have... You want to have the strongest signal going into your comparator here. It gives you just like an extra 1 power sort of thing. And I think that's it. Fairly simple circuit. That's a very long, not long, short delay. And so now if we have our power block, this is the only power block I've got without going and finding one. And we get ourselves more powered rails going off. We finally, well, I don't want to have a block that is going to get to lock the hoppers. So now we'll go get hoppers. And so you have your chests over here. You have your line of hoppers. I don't think I'm going to be... I missed. Alright, and that is a way to unload your minecart. Let's see, I think it was 8 length. Yeah, so smash that. There's our chest, or that's where it's going to be. Go get the chests. And like that. And we actually can't have a rail there, so I should have made it one longer, but oh well. And whoops. There, so that way it bounces back. Okay, now I think that pretty much is it. It's going to pop out because this delay is not long enough, but that's the basics. As I said, you can make this delay longer just by adding in some more comparators. It is fairly costly like that. But then that light comes on to indicate it's working. We put in a stack and away it goes. Boom. And that'll pop back out because the delay is very short here. But worst case scenario, I mean, it just sort of comes on and goes off. It'll be a bit loud. And that's why I increased the delay, is because I didn't want to have it continue to do this. Really annoying. Another thing that I thought of that you could do is actually get another comparator rail, detector rail, sorry. Put it here. Dang it. I would need to power this. So let's do that. Yeah. Power this. So that means I could power this. I obviously played with this a lot, didn't I? Not in this particular feature. All right. So then you could like steal away the signal from that and recharge your delay from it, like here as an example. And you could do that. That would give you like a 15, 15, 14, 13, 13 or 12 signal. Again, as soon as if the minecart runs over it with something, so you could sort of delay, extend the delay that way. Let's proof of concept. So that'll go when it's ready. Boom, recharge, recharge. See, so there we go. We're extending the signal back this way simply by having another detector rail. So now it's not going back. So another way to somewhat extend that delay. And that's not a bad idea, but it depends on if you've got the space in your particular use case. And you want as strong a signal as you can get to recharge this delay circuit. But yeah, that works. And it well, what we'll do once it's done... Ah, silly me. Silly me. That's what we need. There we go. That fixes it. And now, because it's a comparator, we're going to have to put in a repeater so that if it even has one strength, we want this to charge. Actually, we'll put it here. So no matter the strength, it's going to send a signal back and enable that. So let's try that again. We'll do it with 2. So see, it's not ticking away. It's just, I don't know, weird glitch sometimes. So off it goes. Oh, yeah, we've got something in the chest, so it's sending it back. And this is probably a little bit cheaper to take that signal and send it back because you don't have to go to the nether for more nether quartz. That's actually not a bad little design. I might incorporate that into my one, if I can, back at the base where I'm going to put this. So, thanks very much, guys, for watching. I hope this is useful. This is Elprez's minecart loader for a super smelter or to transport items to another location. Thanks. Goodbye. I can't jump or crouch. There we go.